We never had any dangerous water, but we were isolated, and we'd be isolated for weeks. And one time it was, I think nearly 5 or 6 weeks. And that's where helicopters came into their own. I always thank God for helicopters. I hate the damn things, and I wouldn't go in one if you paid me unless I had to be rescued. But we never had to climb up on the roof. When the helicopter finally arrived with some bread and butter and potatoes and various things, I still had tea, I still had coffee, and I still had sugar, and 5 tins of beetroot, and that was it. And the helicopter arrived with some food.
When the old racecourse flooded on one particular occasion, they had to swim the racehorses over McCaskers Channel and then boat the people across, which was quite an ordeal in those days. And I believe in doing so, on one particular trip the boat capsized and several people were wet. Weren't drowned, but they were wet. You know, they had to come home and get changed and have another go.
Yeah, well, when the river was up, we used to have to go put our cars onto the railway bridge to drive across the bridge to get to Charleville. In those days, that's the only way you could get to Charleville was across the railway bridge, which was hard to get on and fairly hard to get off, and a lot of people weren't going to get on it, you know. They were frightened to drive it or whatever, and I used to do the job of driving them over.
Our property is on a sandhill. It's high from the river. Aboriginals told them it's an early days property, and Aboriginals told them the first house went underwater, by the way, and so they said, no, you must go up to that sandhill. So the house, it was an old Piso house that we lived in, was up out of the water. So I said to the helicopter pilot, no, there's no worries here. So he said, come on, get in. And I said, I'll have to gather a few clothes together or something. So I got an old dressing gown and threw a few clothes into this and bundled it up, and off we went into the helicopter. And between South Carmonaghan and town, we saw 2 places that were out of water. It floods 12 miles wide. One of them had a few cattle on it, and the other one was the Bullbanner homestead. So anyway, we landed in Quilpie out at the aerodrome, and there were people everywhere with cameras taking photographs, and someone, an agent I suppose, took us up to town, up to the hotel, the old hotel, and we got a room there. And the next morning, someone rang me from Brisbane and said, your photograph's on the front of the Courier Mail. And I said, what? Landing in the helicopter at Quilpie, or getting off the helicopter in Quilpie. When the Courier Mail came in, here I was like a refugee with a bundle in one hand and a child in the other.